Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out the aftermath from Cleetus and Cars, Florida from this fiery beast behind me. Stay tuned.
That is really burnt up.
What do you think, Nate?
You can even tell it's like burnt up back here. Dad, why is burnt up? It is on this side too.
It's okay. Well, Morgan, what do you think of the Deathtrap?
Bad. Can I feel this side?
What do you-
Good.
Kind of good?
Hey, I know what I
Did it
think.
make a good show on TV, bud?
I think the animals. Well, not that kid. Oh my! Oh my God! Look at that!
Alright, so if you guys didn't see the video, I'm going to put a link up here in the corner to check out the video of this thing breathing fire all over the crowd and everywhere. But we'll start off with the back end here. This damage was already here. If you guys have been a subscriber with the channel, you know that this came from another Burnout event. But if you move to the back here, we've got a little bit of a paint issue possibly. We melted off our license plate light cover. That's totally gone. Obviously the entire back panel, the bumper's nice and covered in black paint. I think we might have ruined our tail light there. A little bit of fire took care of that tail light. And moving around the driver's side here, both driver's and passenger box side of what took the blunt of the damage. The paint is just all bubbled and flaked off, down to raw steel. Everything here, if you've seen in the video, it was just fury of fire everywhere. It was awesome. If you guys were there, comment down below. I'm glad nobody got hurt, but man, it put on for an awesome show, we'll put it that way. We didn't even get close to well, these tires had about 3/4 lugs on them. They're down to maybe an 83/16 of tread. And that was only like a 40-second run, actually run time. So another 30 seconds, those would have been gone. And then if we move over to the passenger side, you kind of got the same picture over here. We've got a massive paint issue. Obviously you can see all the smoke from all that and all the soot. And same thing, down to bare metal. I'm not 100% certain what we're going to do with the paint job yet. I know some of you guys have commented to leave it. I don't know, I've contemplated on painting the truck again. It's not worth it. The truck is pretty well rusted out inside, but maybe just a quickie paint job or something. But let's go ahead and lift it up and see what kind of damages are underneath, because there was a lot more things underneath there that we might have possibly ruined. So let's lift it up and see what we got. All right, so making our way underneath the truck here. Obviously, we've got all kinds of soot, rubber, and everything else. We did melt some of the, basically a lot of this actually came down to melting off a lot of the protective coating stuff that was on here. Whatever you want, wire loom. I think I had a lot of cloth loom on there. So a lot of that took a good bit of hit from the fire. Over here we do have some damage to our fuel lines. They're not bad. I mean, they're bad. I'm going to replace them, but it's not to the point where it was going to burn through by no means. We definitely want to build some kind of enclosure around this. I mean, we're going to change the exhaust up. Not sure what we want to do. Again, another thing you guys can comment on. It's either going to be zoomies up front, underneath the fender, or somehow continue this exhaust and bring it out the back of the truck, back here behind the rear bumper. So comment down below what you guys think would be better. I mean, out the back is kind of what I'd like to do, just because to blow the smoke out and kind of clear the path and, you know, get the smoke up and going as we're burning out. Because if you looked in the, if you pay attention in the video when we first started off, you can just see the smoke blow back, I mean, 100 foot behind the truck. And that's kind of what I like with having the exhaust right here. So if we got it behind the truck, I think that would continue that theme. If we do zoomies up front, it's only when you get in the cloud of smoke that the zoomies would actually blow in the smoke up. And maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. I know zoomies would make this thing louder than heck. And that would be awesome as well. So other things underneath of here. Moving to the back. I think all the suspension, everything looks good. We do need to check, you know, possibly like the seals out here, the bearing seals and stuff, just to make sure. I mean, nothing's leaking on either side. It did burn off my zip ties here for my vent hose for the rear end. It's a little brittle as well, but everything else looks good. It's a good thing we have all these Heim joint ends now instead of the poly bushings. Those things would have been shot. Shocks feel like they've got good play in them and stuff yet. Wiring harness back here, I believe, took the blunt of everything. This is the harness that's running the back, well, was running the back of the truck, where we put the new green lights in and the bed and stuff. So that is all going to probably need to be redone. If it'll focus here, that'll all need to be redone, but we'll do that at another time. At this point, I am more worried about either A, getting the exhaust changed on the truck and deciding what we want to do with the body. Again, the truck underneath of here, for anybody that's new to the channel, you know, all of this frame structure for the cab, whatever you want to call it, it's all shot. All of these back here, I mean, stick your hand right up inside there. Somebody's tried putting some, I don't know, chicken wire or something. Lower doors, rockers. You know, it's really not worth fixing, but I kind of thought if a guy could maybe patch it up, shoot it with some paint. Got some ideas in mind if I do go that way. But again, help us out. You guys are the ones coming to watch the shows. You guys are coming to see us. What would you guys like to see on here? I mean, maybe we could vinyl wrap it with something on the side, or, you know, paint it a different color totally. It's not going to be a show truck by no means, but, you know, patch some of the stuff up, paint it a different color, get some kind of theme on the side of it. We do call the truck Deathtrap for a reason, and I think it's showing its true colors at this point. I would like to stick with the green theme. You know, white doesn't necessarily have to be the other color. It could be black or whatever the case is, but let's go ahead and lower it down and we'll make our way up front and see if there's any damage up there. So I quickly looked over the front end here before I fired up the camera. Everything up here is looking up to par. We didn't have any issues up here. I mean, everything looks like it's tight. Kind of just did a once over on all of our EGTs, fuel lines, stuff like that. All that stuff held up, working like a charm. So huge thanks to Steve for tuning this thing. This thing ran awesome out on the pad. I wish, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. So keeping this thing on the rev limiter like I was, you know, cutting ignition like that when you're dumping methanol through, I don't care what fuel it is, you're cutting ignition, you're creating fire out the exhaust, catching the smoke on, you know, on fire from the tires. There's just so much smoke. And that's what did it. I mean, if I would have just held the revs right at like 7,300 instead of, you know, bouncing off 7,500, I would have been fine. And, you know, when I was out there in the heat of the moment, I'm there to put on a show for you guys. And I was going full send. We drove 22, 23 hours down there to the Freedom Factory, and I didn't come to baby it. So we haven't had the best of luck at a lot of these Cleetus and Cars events. So I was going to go ham on this thing, and I think we did just that. So I think at this point, we need to finish unloading the stuff out of the truck and then start cleaning the shop up. It's a natural disaster in here after getting this thing all fixed up to go to Florida, get the shop cleaned up. And here in a moment, I want to show you guys a few things and get some input from you guys again on what project we start next. We got work to do here, but we want to start another one before either the March event or the April event coming up for Cleetus. I'll catch you guys in just a moment. So now we're on the other side of my shop here, and I've got two things in mind for future Cleetus and Cars events. One, for you subscribers who've been with us, we have Goliath. This ugly piece of equipment here, I don't know, it's got its own character. So I'll post a video up in the corner here if you guys want to check out when we went and picked this bad boy up, and we're working on a frame and stuff underneath of it. The body's got to be dropped another, I don't know, another foot at least. We need to get all that done. But here's my thoughts. Either A, we start working on Goliath, which is going to be a huge, huge undertaking, putting the other blower motor into this. I mean, it can all be done, but we got all the sheet metal work to do inside of this, moving the dry sump tank, you know, any catch tanks, closing off the fender wells, all that stuff. It's things that can be done. I think we would be pressed for time to get it, or option B is my other 67 F100. What the plans for this would be are, I have a 9-inch sitting here that came out of Deathtrap. It has, I believe, 33 spline axles, or 31s, doesn't make a difference. They're Mosers, they'll hold up just fine. I have a whole 4-lane kit for this. And I think we would just throw a 5.3 in it. I've got everything to 4-link it. Crown Vic front swap. I have a Crown Vic front end found for it, which is all things that people do on the forums and everything with these old trucks. Slap a 5.3 and possibly even try ourselves some nitrous for the first time. So this would be similar to what James does with Build, Tune, Race. And I'm not trying to copy him. I just want to do a naturally aspirated, something that we can run in the open class instead of running a big blower motor in that class. I just think that kind of defeats the whole purpose. You know, you don't want to go out there and just dominate a class. You want to be competitive in the class you're running in, and rivals is where we need to be. So if we made this a naturally aspirated, twist this thing over 7,000 RPMs, it would get us in both classes, give us a chance to maybe do a double win. You never know. But we could both have fun. This would be for Jason. Obviously, this one will be for Jason when we get it done. But I think time's sake, this may be the quicker one to do. So comment down below on that as well. Hit us up. Blow us up, guys. We appreciate everyone that did subscribe recently as well. A lot of you guys are just joining us from that last Burnout competition. And we don't plan to have as many Fury Burnouts like that again. We got to fix it just for the safety aspect of it for ourselves and the crowd. But we definitely want to make it as entertaining as we can. So we're not going to change a few things on this just to keep it in style. You know, guys are commenting, love the lights. I'd like to increase on, you know, some of the visual effects, stuff like that. And that's where the paint kind of comes into play too, or wrap or something of that nature. I do like the rat rod look myself. I never would ever fix this truck to be a show truck because it'll miles just go to the scrapyard. So that's going to be a wrap on today's video. You know, I don't like to plug merch, but if you guys want to support us, we've got our Boosted Ride shirts on the website. Link is down below. Help support your boys. Help us make these come true, you know. I've got everything pretty much sitting here. I've got a 5.3 up there. I've got an LS1. I got a T56. I got 4 L80s. I would need, you know, maybe if Holly would step up, help support us, and set us up with like a Terminator or something to run that. That'd be awesome as well. But again, like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. I know this is kind of boring just rambling on in this video, but let us know. Drop a comment. Seriously, which one? Is it going to be the F100 or is it going to be Goliath? We need to start busting our ass to get this thing going. Thanks again, guys.